How much should I be saving, and how do I build up my savings? The answer to this question depends on your income, goals and ambitions. Saving is easier when you have something to save towards, so first establish your goals. Then you know how much you need to save and can work out a time frame for achieving them. It's also a good idea to put some of your savings aside to make an emergency fund to cover unexpected events that could put a strain on your finances. If you have a spouse and dependents, you should take them into account when working out the size of your fund. Ideally, an emergency fund will consist of 3 to 6 months of income. Taking your income into account, you can set a realistic monthly savings amount. As a rule of thumb, try to save around 10 to 25% of your income each month to put towards your savings goals. If this seems too much, start with what you feel you can afford and work your way up to your ideal amount. The most important step of all is to actually start saving, no matter how little the amount. Just starting a savings account will set you on course to achieving your goals. Take our friend Dave here. Dave wants to save some money. He's not sure exactly why, but he has some money left in his account at the end of each month and thinks it's a sensible idea to put aside some for a rainy day. Sometimes there's no money left, but that's okay, Dave thinks, because he's been saving for a few months. A couple of times he decides to make a bigger purchase and dips into his savings account, which he also thinks isn't a huge problem because by now he's been saving for several months. One day, Dave checks his statement and is shocked to learn that he's saved much less than he thought. Perhaps you recognise your own experiences in Dave's story. Fortunately for all of us, saving is not a skill we are necessarily born with, but it can be learned. Dave decides to employ a new approach. He sets himself 3 savings goals so he knows how much he needs to save and how long he has to do it. Every time he puts money aside, he knows he's getting closer to meeting his target. In fact, he's found that the most effective way to save is to pay himself first and immediately transfer a fixed amount into his savings account as soon as he is paid. Once he's saved up enough to meet one target, he sets himself another and carries on saving. He starts off saving a small amount, giving himself a chance to get used to his new routine. But every month he increases the amount until he reaches his full monthly savings target. In the future, Dave can look at his savings balance and feel confident that he has his emergency fund to fall back on, and nearly enough money to put a down payment on that house he's been saving up for. Rather than feeling his quality of life has suffered, Dave actually feels empowered to make important financial decisions, knowing that his savings are growing steadily.